6:07 p.m. Good evening, everyone. AGUA Special Utility District, regular meeting of Board of Directors, May 6. Call to order. Roll call. Dr. Adriana Flores Berrial, absent. Ms. Ana Maria Perez.
Present.
Mr. Ricardo Perez, absent. Mr. Romero Tijerina.
Present.
Mr. Jose Luis Ochoa.
Present.
And Mr. Roel de Hoyos, absent. Okay, 1B, invocation.
Heavenly Father, as we gather today to conduct matters of business for AGUA Sud, may you give us your guidance, wisdom, and knowledge to make the best decisions for the ratepayers and employees. Lord, let this meeting be productive and let your peace surround us today. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Item 1C, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
1D, public comments, Mr. Salinas.
Yes, Madam President, we do not have any public comments at this time.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, minutes, approval of minutes for March 4th, 2024, AGUA Board meeting.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Mrs. Perez. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, presentation and discussion of AGUA Sud 2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and Audit as presented by Ms. Esmeralda Inguez, Carr and Riggs and Ingram LLC.
Yes, Madam President, we do have with us Ms. Esmeralda Iniguez with Carr, Riggs, and Ingram that will be presenting to us the AGUA Sud 2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and Audit.
Good evening. I'm Esmeralda Iñiguez with Carr, Riggs & Ingram, and with me is Carla Gomez. She's a supervising senior with our firm as well. You do have a copy in front of you, is that correct?
Yes.
So let me start by kind of walking you through it. So the first half of the report is the actual financial report for AGUA Sud. This is the one that's provided to external parties. The second half is the required communication. That has been provided to us, by us to you, the board and management, and it includes detailed information about various items that we'll kind of go over in a bit, but just want to say that it's for internal use. And I do want to start off by congratulating the district management and governance as well, because with your guidance and your support, they were able to attain GFOA Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for their 2022 financial report. So what that requires is for them to provide additional information above and beyond the basic financial statements that would otherwise be required. So in addition to that, they also include statistical information and additional information that provides not just management and governance, but the general public a lot more insight and information about the trend of AGUA Sud and its financial reporting. So for December 31, 2023, we concluded the audit as well, and the financials are being presented in the same manner as in prior years, which would qualify them to continue to participate in that certificate, to attain that certificate. On page 1 of the first half of the report, the booklet that you have in front of you, that's where we're presenting our opinion, and we're pleased to report that we're rendering a non-modified, which is considered a clean opinion over the financial statements of AGUA Sud. In our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the district as of December 31, 2023, and the respective changes in financial position and cash flows thereof for the year then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. I'm gonna now turn it over to Carla, and she's gonna walk us over the highlights, the financial highlights of the reports.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
So I'm just gonna go a little bit about some of the balances that the district has, and I would like to start on page 16. That page has the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. So this is, includes, as I says, the revenues, which at the top you can see operating revenues. The total operating revenues for the year were $30,939,162. A little bit toward the bottom, it's total operating expenses, which were $14,705,472. After that, the district has non-operating revenues and expenses, which is mainly includes interest expense paid on bonds, on notes payables, or leases. That's the biggest expense that you have on that group. Then a little bit more toward the bottom, they have the grants and capital contributions. The total grants and capital contributions this year were $1,680,013. The biggest item in there you can see that is the developer contributions to the system and fees of $1,293,701, and then you have grant revenues and grant expenses and the water and sewer impact fees. So adding operating revenues, operating expenses, non-operating revenues and expenses, and grants and capital contributions, the total change in net position for the fiscal year was $13,096. So it's a positive number. This increased your net position of last year, which last year net position was $104,139,577. So adding the 13,000 that you had, the district ended up with a net position of $104,152,673. Then I would like to go one page before to page 15. So you can see your net position toward the bottom. The majority of your net position is net investment in capital asset, which is the amount of capital assets minus long-term debt that you have, bonds, leases, and all of that. That's the biggest amount of $99,767,000. Then there's a couple of items that are restricted, net positions that are restricted, and that includes restricted for debt service as required by your bond governance and your leases or whatever is required. There's also a restriction for capital improvement projects, and then the net pension assets, it's also restricted. After that, the total unrestricted net position in the year was $1,120,038. So all of those are the components of the net position. At the top, you can see that the district ended up with a total asset of $149,786,999, which of that, the majority is your capital asset, net of accumulated depreciation. Then a little bit more toward the bottom, the district has total liabilities of $45,852,459. Again, the majority of that is going to be your long-term liabilities, your bonds and your long-term leases. And that's basically the breakdown of your total net position. I think on numbers, do you have any questions on balances or?
I saw that we had a 10% increase, no, 14% increase as far as revenue for the year, and we had 4% increase on operating expenses, so we still had 10% above.
Yes,
basically in the
there
back,
were a few, I will say one-time expenses that we can see comparing to last year that you didn't have. Some of those I will mention, some of those are related to legal services.
Okay.
There were, I think this year you also started paying City of Mission for one of your agreements or contracts that you have with them for the cost of water.
For the sewer treatment.
For the sewer
Yes, the
treatment.
sewer
For the
treatment.
sewer hydrant?
In 2023, that's when it began.
Okay.
But it was toward the end, so
Yes.
the big increase is not in this year. So I would say those two items are the biggest things that makes the expense a little bit up. Now, on total revenues, just to mention, yeah, your rates increased this year between, I will say between 5 to 7%.
Yes.
But the other increase this year was, there's a line item that you moved to the top, which is the water rights fees. Before, on previous year, it was presented down below as a grant and capital contributions. And as per board approval,
Yes.
that was moved to the top. So that's also makes the increase.
Okay. Well, if there's no additional questions on the balances themselves.
Yeah, can you
okay.
hold on? We just had our treasurer walk in. I don't know if he has any questions for y'all.
Yeah, so for the record, 6:18, Mr. Perez walked in.
Apologize for being late, guys.
No worries.
Can you start again? I was trying to see, where are your findings on this report? What page is
Okay.
it?
Well, we were going
Oh.
gonna jump into that area,
yeah.
so you walked in just in time.
Okay.
So, the required communication, as I said, that's the last tab of the report. That one outlines, there are several areas. So the first area is, are the required communications that we as auditors are required to disclose to governance. And we're required to disclose if there's any if we had any issues in conducting the audit, if there's any material weaknesses, significant deficiencies, any significant adjustments. So all of that would be included in that section. We are pleased to report that this year there were no audit adjustments that were required as a result of our audit procedures that were identified. We also did not note any material weakness or significant deficiencies. We did have a few recommendations that were provided to management and discussed with them last week. Well, we discussed those as we run into them, but we summarized them last week in an exit meeting with management so that we both understood the facts and circumstances and as well the recommendations that we suggest. Those are included at the end of this last report. Starting on page 19, we kind of summarize there in a chart.
Where's that?
19.
Page 19, towards the back of the report.
It's on the second, on the tab, after the tab,
Oh, on this one.
on the second package, or,
Yes.
Okay.
So again, these were just comments. We were able to gain confidence over the balances surrounding these areas that are outlined here. So it didn't really impact our opinion. We are still able to render an unmodified opinion that the financial statements are fairly stated. But these are more like, we understand you want to continue to improve and strengthen your controls, so we provided these as, pointers for you to consider going forward.
I mean, just recommendations, they're kind of easy to kind of fix, right?
Yes, and
That's not
we already
reading
went
them.
ahead and provided a management action on the right-hand side. That's a comment from us on how to implement them, the improvement points.
Did you call the bank already for the FDIC insurance?
Yes, sir. So now, we continuously monitor it throughout the month, but if we do see a day where it's negative, right, where the collateral is less than our cash balance, we'll
Right.
go ahead and reach out to the bank rep and get
Yeah.
a new report.
Usually the bank puts, 2 million and we have 500, so like that, it doesn't go over. you know.
Right, and we do receive those at the beginning of the month. I think just what happened was that we got more cash than what that beginning of the month report had, so I think we just need to reach out earlier and get an updated
Yeah,
report.
what is the gap? You don't know the gap?
We need to have 2% over, the cash balance, so
When-
2% over
Yeah.
collateral.
Who do you talk to there at the bank?
It's with Lone Star.
But
It's
who's
within-
the representative?
The
or-
person we reach out to is Letty Chavez. She's an account rep for
Okay.
public funds.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Any questions on the report from the presentation
No.
Good.
from CRI?
So then I need a motion.
No, it's a presentation and discussion.
Oh, it's a,
Yes,
oh, sorry.
presentation and
Number
discussion.
4 is
The
the.
following item.
Yeah, I'm looking at
The
number
follow-
4, yes. I'm sorry. So do we move forward?
We can go ahead and move forward to item number 4.
It's because I checked it off. Got confused. Yes.
Very good.
Yes, item number 4, discussion and possible action on accepting and approving the AGUA 2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and Audit as presented by Mrs. Esmeralda Iniguez, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, LLC.
I would just like to add, thank you, Mr. Salinas, Jaime Pars, on a great job on the audit. I know I've been here from 2016. This is one of the better ones. So, great job.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you
thank you.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
I agree with that.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Mr. Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, discussion and possible action on amending the non-standard service agreement for water to be submitted to the LAC Enterprises.
Thank you.
Thank you. LLC for the cost related of water service for the crossing of at Bensten Palm subdivision, granting the variance of 7.5 exclusive easement.
Yes, Madam President, we received a request from HCE engineers on behalf of the developer, Leonel Cantu, in reference to the proposed AGUA Special Utility 15-foot easements regarding the property for the crossing at Bensten Palms subdivision, which is located on the southwest corner of Benson and Expressway. So the request was from the City of Palmview to basically eliminate the 15-foot utility easement. After meeting with the developer and the engineer and ourselves here, staff, we concluded that I guess the best we can do is to lower it down from 15 to 7.5 exclusive easements along the existing subdivision. So this is what we have proposed to the developer and the engineer, and they agree. The City of Palmview did agree as well. However, they were going to run it through their legal department as well. So this is our response, I guess, to them as far as lowering the 15-foot exclusive easement to 7.5 exclusive easement for approval.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Mr. Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion
I
carries.
got a question to that matter. It's been approved, right, everything. The only thing is the subdivision in front, can it connect to that subdivision for the sewer? They didn't live like a,
For the sewer, a stub out for
Yeah.
sanitary sewer.
yeah.
Well, the actual manhole is in the vicinity area that it can be extended to connect. You're talking about the Jack in the Box and
Yeah.
the actual
Sure.
commercial
Yeah.
plaza, it can be connected. It's right next to.
But there's no easement for us to use in case we ever need it. Or the lines
Right here.
big enough to handle all that, it should be.
Oh, should be. This is the property in front of, the,
Yeah, Jack in the Box.
The Palmview Market,
the-
Palmview Marketplace.
Morelos.
Behind Jack in the Box.
yeah, but is it the same property? That plaza?
No, well, yes, I think. Because,
Or is this the one in front of the bank, the La Jolla Credit Union?
Okay, yes, I guess the closest, Mr. Perez, to answer your question, on lot 13X,
Mm-hmm.
the request should be to continue with the exclusive easement along that property
sure,
on lot 13X.
yeah,
I will make that request.
can you do that?
Yes.
Because in
Along
front,
Sierra Street towards
Yeah.
the north
yes,
on lot 13X.
and maybe that can be a 50-foot easement for us, that little easement.
Yeah, this is,
So, Jared,
this
can we
I see.
change, can we go back to the item and approve the 7.5, subject to extend the easement along lot 13X?
I know which one this one is, yeah, I already know. It's the one right
Yeah,
next to
what I would do is, just have a motion to further amend to have that, a second and a vote.
Motion to further amend.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Mrs. Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Do we
Anyone
need to just
opposed?
say? Do we
Motion.
need to say, put that into the motion?
The what?
Pending the
That we're,
amending it?
did you
Yes.
got it right? The
Okay.
to amend?
Okay.
Yeah, he
Okay,
mentioned.
thank you.
The second.
Motion carries. Item number 7, discussion on possible action authorizing the general manager to
Number
purchase.
6.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Discussion of possible action on approval and validation of emergency repair for filter number 2 at the Abram Water Treatment Plant.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, on April 25th, staff met with the executive committee, with Ms. Maribel Diaz, President, Dr. Villarreal, Vice President, and Mrs. Ana Maria Perez, Secretary, as executive committee to approve before the board meeting an expenditure due to an emergency that we have here at the Abram Water Treatment Plant. One of our filters went out. It's a 1.5 MGD filter. Some of the media, the sand was escaping, and anthracite was escaping through one of our gaskets. So we go ahead and got with J&J contractor, which has experience on replacing media and gaskets on the filters, and gave us a quote. We explained that to the executive committee. However, because of the expenditure exceeding $24,999, we will have to bring it back to the board for validation to accept this quote, which is $44,750. And again, the contractor has experience, and they do a lot of work on replacing media and gaskets for filters for the water treatment plant filters. So, in essence, this item is to validate the emergency repair for filter number 2 at the Abram Water Treatment Plant.
So move.
So move, second.
So I have a motion by Mr. Perez and a second by Ms. Ana Maria Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
A question to that. We have 2 more filters like this. How many do we have?
We have total 4,
4.
1.5 each.
If they're all the same age, right?
They're all the
12,
same age, yes.
15 years? How many years?
From 2000, when the plant was built, 2009.
Okay. have you gonna get another quote for the other ones, because they're gonna break down? I know this was 40,000, but on a regular, without no emergency, what's a regular price?
It should be close to the 40s.
No, it doesn't matter if it breaks.
Yeah, well, the only essence will be maybe
Getting quotes?
getting quotes.
Okay.
Going to
See, we
solicit
could do
for
that
bids
because-
on all three.
Precautionary.
But we'll have the contractor take a look at those other three just to verify that there's no
How
escaping
many
of
gallons
anthracite
does
or
this filter?
1.5 mgd, 1.5 million gallons per day.
That's a lot compared to the,
That's a quarter of the actual capacity of the plant.
just imagine
Production.
it happens in what, a month?
Yes.
So if you can get a quote, I don't know, depends, we can get with the president and see if she can, send up for quotes for that.
Okay. We'll look into Mr. Perez.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Okay. Item number 7, discussion on possible action authorizing the general manager to purchase an emergency generator through Holt Power Systems via by board co-op contract number 685-22.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, we're seeking to replace the existing generator with a 200 kilowatt generator, Holt-Cat generator here at FM 886 at the booster station in Sullivan, right next to Fordyce Elementary. The total cost via buy board will be of $78,600.
Okay.
Just to replace the old one there because it's not working.
That is correct. And
The
we're also
light goes
looking
out,
into
yeah.
the motors and pumps. As you're aware, we had that emergency
Sure.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And we're looking into having spare but that's a different item, right? But spare pumps and spare motors for those booster stations.
Yeah, just imagine
throughout
if there's no light for a week or a month, it depends.
Yeah. This generator's for which one again?
It's the booster station right next to Fordyce Elementary,
Oh,
FM
okay.
886 in Sullivan City.
Okay.
What's the additional or option pricing to provide additional 7,400? What is that?
Which one you're looking
On
at?
the,
It's
have
to
you-
provide 400 ATS. It's the option price.
Oh, that's the automatic transfer switch. That's to add that to the pricing. We do have an ATS on site. We will need to evaluate that, Mr. Perez, and if we need to replace it, we'll replace it.
The other question, do we have money for this?
This was part of our 2024 capital improvements listing when we approved the budget.
Okay.
So
It's
that's where
already
the-
been,
yeah,
it
it's
should
been
be good.
budgeted for 2024.
Okay. So those
But the
seven,
emergency one wasn't, so I know I asked Mr. Salinas if we had enough money to kind of cover this.
What we had listed was the FM 886 booster station generator, so.
but we had the
The other emergency.
generator on Prima Lane.
I see.
So we'll evaluate our equipment, capital outlay equipment, and we'll try to balance budget. If we need to wait on some of the equipment that we had previously approved, then we'll wait on that until the following year,
Okay.
so delivery is about 4 months,
about 4 months, yes,
4 or
sir.
5 months?
Yes.
So we're just hoping
4
that
to 5
nothing
to 6
happens
weeks.
within the 4 months.
Or 4 to 6 weeks.
Subshore
Hurricane
person
season.
4 to 6.
I know.
Estimated
That's what
delivery
it's
after
taking in
release.
generators, probably
Where did it-
more.
where
I don't know, the engineers might have worked with generators, but they usually take 4 months to 6 months.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
So move.
Second.
so I have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Mr. Perez. All in favor say aye.
aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on the approval of a resolution authorizing the execution of the State Infrastructure Bank Loan Agreement with TxDOT.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, basically this resolution states that AGUA Special Utility District is able to execute a loan agreement from the State Infrastructure Bank in an amount up to $7 million to be used for the relocation and replacement of water and sanitary sewer infrastructure along SH 495 including between La Homa, which is SH 364, and Abram Road. The Texas Department of Transportation did pass a minute order, and again, we're looking at a term up to 25 years, Mr. Perez, with a 3.34 interest rate. I don't know if you want to add to that, Jaime. I know that you were coordinating with David.
When are we starting paying that?
The schedule is not yet finalized. There are some tweaks to it, to the schedule that was included in the original loan agreement. Could change a little bit, but the payments could start maybe later this year, August, or early next year, 2025. We did schedule them to be every February 1st and August 1st of every year to kind of mimic how our bonds are, the scheduling, to make it easy for, to put monies in reserve to prepare for payment.
What's the estimate time on construction? I don't know if somebody can answer that.
On this, we do not have any time construction schedule yet. We're gonna solicit for RFQ for engineering services specifically for this project, following TxDOT guidelines. However, the TxDOT project right now has a letting date of early 2025.
Essentially, we have to be done
Before. However, the construction, we're seeking to do a joint bid with TxDOT so that they can incorporate the plans within the existing, I believe, LNG design plans, so that it can be a whole bid having the same contractor
Right.
working on the roadway and the utility
Makes sense.
So
relocations.
are engineers gonna give the plans to them, or they're gonna work together?
Yes, they're gonna work together, and essentially the plans will be part of the overall
Will it
plans to
be
bid out the project.
in-house engineer, or in-house engineer?
We're gonna solicit and we're gonna go through the
Oh,
RFQ
okay, so
process.
solicit.
Yes, because it's a state
It's a project.
funding. Yes.
So move.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Ms. Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, discussion and possible action authorizing the general manager to solicit requests for qualifications for engineering services for Veterans Boulevard relocation of water line and sanitary sewer lines related to the TxDOT Veterans FM 495 widening project in accordance to TxDOT procurement procedures.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Ana Maria Perez, second by Mr. Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10, discussion and possible action on the approval of change order number 1 with RDH Site and Concrete LLC for Liberty Road widening water line relocation project.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, we do have M2 Engineering that will be presenting this change order reconciliation of items with RDH Site and Concrete for the Liberty Road widening water line project.
Yes, good evening, Madam President and members of the board.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This change order we prepared as we move to formally close out this project. It essentially covers 2 topics. We reconciled quantities, and a part of those quantity reconciliation includes the contractor had encountered rock material pretty shallow in the excavation that was unforeseen, so that's kind of covers that, as well as the reconciliation of final quantities as we move to change this out. So the total increase is of 24,640, and the days, which is an additional 150 days, was granted due to weather and also due to the unforeseen rock that kind of delayed and slowed down their excavation. We did have a walkthrough this morning, I'm sorry, and the project is 100% complete and the walkthrough did go smoothly.
Mr. Salinas, you were there at the walkthrough, or Albert?
At the walkthrough, Albert was present at the walkthrough. That's right.
Your recommendation,
Approval.
approval. So move.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Tijerina and a second by Mr. Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Pasen buenas tardes.
Muchas
Igualmente.
gracias. Tú también.
Item number 10, discussion and possible, that's the one, yes. Item number 11, Discussion and possible action on approval of quote to repair the Vector truck through the pre-approved diesel mechanic.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, diesel fleet care, it's a pre-approved, of course, diesel mechanic. What happened on this occasion, our Vector truck broke down, the engine went out on the piece of equipment, and we received quotes from the pre-approved mechanic. So on the attachment, we do have two quotes, basically from the same mechanic, and one is a new engine block, right? Replacement. It has a 1-year warranty, and the cost is of $41,226. The other quote here on the attachments as well, it's a remanufactured engine, and basically it's the same housing but everything else new. The quote for that is of $33,925, and again it's a 1-year warranty as well. So basically what it's changing the cost is the actual housing, the actual
But
motor.
the housing is the one that,
Remanufactured will be
pero our, the
no,
same
it
motor?
won't be ours.
And we
It
don't know
will
if
be
it
like
was,
it will be like a used.
and you don't know if it was hot or where it was, you don't know?
No. And both have a 1-year warranty.
So it's like the same block, right, with just new,
Yep.
yeah,
Pistons,
just, yeah.
Same warranty.
Same warranty.
What do you recommend?
Well, we can go
What's
with
the-
either or, but I will feel more comfortable going with a new engine. That's the new engine, the new block.
For how much
Long
money?
block.
$6,000, $8,000? How much is it?
8,000.
8,000, around 8,000. I mean,
And,
both have 1-year warranty, but
But
it's
a
just a
new
matter of choosing either or on this item.
I'll make a motion for the new motor.
Second.
Okay, have a motion from Mr. Tijerina and a second from Mr. Perez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, General Manager's Report, A, March financials.
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, here with us is Mr. Jaime Reina, Finance Director, that will give us a summary on the March financials.
Yes, Board, these financial statements are prepared as of March 31st, 2024, so this would be the end of the first quarter. If you could turn your attention to the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. On the top left, you'll see that March is, of course, 25% of the year. Our total operating revenues were at 22%, slightly behind that benchmark, and total operating expenses were also at 22%, but overall, we're in line with our budget.
Okay.
I noticed
Okay.
that,
Yes.
whenever they were doing the audit, one of the things that they, I guess, put on their recommendations was, for the budget, the district had several expense accounts exceeding the budgeted amount.
Yes, that was primarily with the professional
Professional
services from
services.
last year. That was
Yeah.
really the item that.
That's what I was
stuck
gonna
out.
ask.
Yeah, they
Is
mentioned
that-
to us in the exit meeting. That's what stood out to them.
And where are we at right now at professional
For
services?
professional services, it is less than than last year. Last year and at the end of March, we were at 291,000. This year, we're at 187,000, so about $104,000 less.
Okay.
But there's a lot of pending,
Yeah, coming in.
There could be more,
Yeah.
but not as of the end of March. All bills are paid for the end of March for legal, but I mean, there could be more work coming up, right? More hours that the attorneys could put in. If I could pick that up.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at that 13,000 like gain. I guess we're in the positive, but
Yeah,
imagine if we didn't have all these legal expenses,
right.
where would we be?
on the cost of production, we were over, what, because of the water or what?
Cost of production, it's increasing mainly because of chemicals. I mean, as more consumption, more chemicals is being put into, but it's also the city of Mission,
No,
that
yeah.
sewer agreement. As I believe at the end of March, will be fully paid off with the payment plan. There was like for the amounts in prior years, so it's gonna drop. The expense is gonna drop for the rest of the year, March onward for city admission. So if we're paying roughly maybe like 29,000 a month for with city admission, it's not gonna drop to about 13. Yeah.
I saw electricity went down for this
Yes.
compared to last year. What was that? You don't know?
So we changed companies?
No, it could have just been the consumption, but I already saw April's usage and it did pick up monthly.
Yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
warmer.
Getting hotter.
It's getting
Yeah,
warmer and warmer.
We paid April's usage and it did pick up.
Yeah, this week we're supposed to be at the triple digits, like 111.
Yeah, and I mean,
And it's not even
the main
summer.
drivers for that are the water plants. Those are the biggest users
Right.
of electricity.
Are people paying more with cash than debit cards and all that?
No, I would say it's more electronic. It's the online payments and credit
Because
cards.
it's a lot less.
On the fees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 12B, first quarter investment report.
Yes, Board. The investment activity report takes a look at the cash funds available to the district and the interest generated by our bank accounts. I would like to point out on the first page towards the middle, you'll see under multi-bank securities, you'll see that the district made an investment, the Marine Federal Credit Union CD for $248,000. It's a one-year CD and this will mature on April 20th, 2025. It's a 5% CD, and it'll pay roughly around $1,000 a month of unrestricted interest earnings. On the second page, you'll see the total funds available to the district are $12,899,000. I mean, it's a combination of, general fund money and restricted money and escrow money that we have with the Water Development Board. That's the total amount of cash the district has available to use, and the total period earnings, so the total interest generated was $141,000 for the first quarter.
Okay.
Where do we put that money in? General fund, or where does it go to?
The unrestricted monies I do put back to the general fund, but it's a mix. It's the majority of the interest generated is with the escrow accounts, and that stays within the escrow accounts that are in control by the Water Development
And
Board.
it's just compounded within the same.
Correct. Yeah, it's just
Pero-
compounding monthly.
We can take it out
We can.
and use it for what?
It depends on the fund that the interest is generated in. For example, if it's impact fee, it can only be used for impact fee eligible projects. If it's for water rights, it's for water related expenses, right?
Like what happened with that emergency? Where would that?
It would be through the general fund. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, item number 12C, Tom Gill and Line Booster. Mr. Salinas?
Yes, Madam President, members of the board. The contractor is currently working on the concrete pad of the building, which is scheduled to be poured on Wednesday, this Wednesday. We did complete the water tie-in there on Tom Gill in mile 4, and we're coordinating with the AEP as far as requesting power. So we're pending that site meeting with them so that we can get ahead of the schedule. And just to point out, again, on the delay of the control panel, we're looking at, I believe it's 16 to 20 weeks delay. So it's gonna probably be delivered here late August, early September, the actual control panel. So that's a delay.
There's
on
no
that.
sooner than that.
We're gonna try to have have meetings, and hopefully they can send us to the contractor, right, the actual control panel for that booster. So the booster should be completed and all the tie-ins, and we'll just be waiting for the control panel to be installed.
Is the light company gonna require a dedicated easement for the pole with the city of Peñitas, or?
We're gonna meet with them. We'll probably touch base on
Okay.
that request as well. They usually do request that, but since it's right next to it'll be an aerial connection
Okay,
to the actual
to
booster.
the pole, to the area.
To the area connection, yes, sir.
Any questions, concerns? 12D, drought contingency plan.
Yes, Madam President, attached as a handout, we printed today's Amistad Reservoir and Falcon reservoir levels. So what this historic data reflects a year, for example, on Amistad Reservoir, a year ago,
Was that 35?
it was at 35.3%,
Wow.
and today, it's at 27.9%. So that's the drop that we have experienced on Amistad. As far as Falcon reservoir levels, if we go to the next page, we can see a year ago it was at 21.4%,
Today is at 10.
and today's at 10.3%. So it dropped 10%, a little bit more than 10%
Wow.
on that. So it hasn't been getting better. So hopefully we'll get rain this summer. But just to alert the board that we are at the 20% borderline, a little bit below 20% borderline. So that can, or it will trigger, it can trigger stage 4 on our drought contingency plan. There's some restrictions that we cannot allow for water usage. On stage 3, we did have a plan that we can water certain days of the week. For stage 4, it's no water use whatsoever as an emergency. We'll continue to monitor this week, next week, and we'll make a determination either to go into stage 4 because it will
That's
affect.
under 20, under 20.
Under
Yeah.
20, yes, sir.
So we need to, because the way it looks, it's not gonna be rain the next.
Yes, sir.
And Houston got so much rain.
I know. I was like, we would have used a little bit of it.
Come,
Like
funnel
this
it
way.
Funnel it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
City
think
of,
what Houston got like a 1 month worth of rain, right?
The rain, yes.
I
That's
know
the rain that we need.
City of Edinburgh went down or
Right.
went to
Yeah, they
stage
did.
2
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, they did.
2 days out of
Should-
it.
Yeah.
Well, I like that we're having like I've always seen Terry very adamant about bringing this into the news and into, I guess, shining light on this because not too many other representatives are doing that. And I applaud his efforts. So if we can get always into contact with him
Yes.
and see.
Yes, and under district operations update, there's a copy of that, our state representative Terry Canales asking for information. So just for information to the board, we attached the letter and we'll provide answers to the questions that he's seeking information, basically seeking information from the district. And I believe he's sending letters to all water districts and municipalities as well. And hopefully with this, there's funding available that
Yeah.
can assist us on this drought as well.
Well, the more you make people aware, the more, like it says, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So-
Also, on the district operations update, we have been having meetings with the county emergency management as well. And what they're trying to regionalize the drought contingency plans for the whole region. And they have hired a company called H2O Partners, and they're working with the county, and they will reach out to us and go over the drought contingency plans that they have as far as a template that they want to use through the region.
What's the name of the company?
H2O Partners. They were hired by the county to do an assessment, and what they're checking is to see if we can have a regionalized drought contingency plan. But again, it will vary because everybody has different needs. Every district has different needs. Municipalities have different needs. It depends. Some of them have reservoirs. Some of them don't have reservoirs. Some plants through the region. So it's going to vary. So we'll coordinate with them, for this effort to see if there's basically what we're seeking is for assistance on any grants
Yes, sir.
that they're out there as well. But we have finalized our drought contingency plan. We have submitted to the entities, TCQ, Water Development Board. So we have complied with the deadline, and if there's any changes, we can always amend the drought contingency plan.
No, that's good for you, keeping up with all everything's going on.
What about our neighbors to Sherry? They already have things in effect as well? Drought contingencies?
They all have drought contingency plans. It's just a
Mission.
matter of the triggering percentages.
What
that
is
they
your
have.
percentage, you know?
Their percentage, I don't recall, Mr. Perez, at this time, but we do have that drought contingency plan.
Which is very low, 20% combined, that's super low.
Yes.
Well, I'm just thinking because we're relying on them with these summer months, like we're looking to them, and then if they're in the same situation, it's gonna be hard for them
Be
to.
able to give us water with
Right.
those connections.
Depends on their drought contingency plan again,
True,
on
yeah.
that. And on that aspect, if I may talk about district operations update, we are working with Sherland Water Supply. We were just pending the actual easement from the property owner,
Juan
which
Chavez.
we're with Juan Chavez, which we're working with their engineer, with his engineer on he has a proposed development, so we need to be sure where his driveway, their driveways are gonna cross, and the fire hydrants that he wants to install in exchange for the 15-foot utility easement. So at this
Where is
time,
that at?
it's who comes in first, right? So we're asking for the 15-foot utility easement, so he has more of a grip of asking, okay, but can you provide me with a fire hydrant here, a cross over here, as far as casing on the water line. In the other hand, if he would have developed first, we would have asked for him to
Sure.
build the water line on an easement, an exclusive easement.
But
So
he's not required, us to pay him anything in the land,
No,
right?
he's just wants
No.
that.
Yeah.
no, he's
I think
just
he's gonna balance.
Yeah.
balance out.
Where is this located on?
This is on the south west corner of 7 Mile Line and Benson.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, number 12E, district operations update.
That's all I have.
Oh, that's all it
for
was?
an update.
Okay. All right. Item number 13, district engineers report, a NetBank technical assistance agreement and sewer hookups.
Yes, Madam President, we have Sam's engineering for a summary on these two items.
Good evening, Madam President and
Good
members
evening.
of the board. We'll kick off the district engineer's report with the NatBank Technical Assistance Agreement for the sewer hookups. The big push last month and up to today was to give the contractor more will their notice to proceed, which we have done. We, as well through the month of April, we had our pre-con meeting with NatBank themselves with the contractor, and we coordinated some final permits with the City of Palmview, which is what, I don't want to say that specifically delayed us, but we didn't get that permit until last Thursday on 5/2, and that prompted us to start routing for the notice to proceed all through Friday. And so we finalized the notice to proceed for the contractor this morning, and they will begin or are allowed to begin construction on Wednesday, May the 7th. And then based on the updated construction schedule on the notice to proceed date, substantial completion of the project is expected to be February 2nd, 2025, which is 270 days of working days for the contract, and then final completion of the project on March the 4th, which is 300 days.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
No, sir.
And then we can move on to the GIS and mapping project, in which case the general update is that we're at 17% completion with the project itself. We're currently working on 4 of the subdivisions which are listed. Las Comadres number 4, Camino de Abram, Las Comadres number 5, and Camino de Abram Phase 2. So the big push this month with the district, with Mr. Albert, is going to be getting a lot of the remaining data to start inputting into those subdivisions to finalize them at 100% in order for the month of June to move on with the next set of subdivisions to start creating the GIS information for.
I know they were, getting back to the water line, sewer lines on Sam's, did we reduce the price? Because I think there was, what did we do to their contract?
On which
It was
contract?
60,000 and they ended up getting
Yes,
40,000.
they,
Are we gonna be able to get?
they're gonna start on the, if I'm not mistaken, on the Sullivan sanitary sewer and Palmview sanitary sewer and, subdivisions, some of the subdivisions that were not, on the GIS, from, what was the year, Mario, I don't know from what year you started, from 2016?
And then we started from
2018.
Up to 2020,
Yeah.
partial 2020.
But I mean on the fee, because they thought they were gonna get 60,000 and they only got 45,000. What's the?
I don't recall the
The
amount,
price.
but it was substantially lowered because
Than what the
we
original.
removed a
Because, yeah.
section of the subdivisions.
Yeah.
Because we removed from 2020 up to 2023 or 2024 now, we removed those subdivisions to phase it out, to stay within budget. We're getting a different phase. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is phase one, if you
Yeah,
call it
but what
phase one
about
of
if
the
we
GIS.
give them the whole 60 and do everything instead of just one phase? Or
We
two
will need
phases?
to amend the existing, contract
Sure,
to
but I think we
complete
need
all.
to, not to have partial because we have certain money. You know? And it's gonna be paid in monthly payments or?
It's
how
as
is it
we're
gonna be?
progressing,
As they
a
advance.
percent complete per the subdivisions.
Yeah,
that
we don't
we're
wanna
working
be
on.
like a mechanic, put that car on that side, we're gonna work on this one. We wanna be working everything, you know? And I wanna be the whole yard of cars that need fixing. I don't know, I just recall that. I know there was a price range and
We'll discuss what we can do with the schedule.
Mhm.
With the,
yeah, if we need to give, reimburse you, give it more so we can be working, you know? It's not like a file, you're gonna have a file here, okay, and then don't come
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
forth.
Mhm.
It's not work efficient.
No more questions?
No, sir, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 14, executive session. As provided by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Sections 551.071-551091, the Board of Directors may convene in a closed executive session to deliberate, discuss, or consult regarding the matters listed below on proper motion and approval of any of the items set forth above. Under Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Sections 551.071, consultation with attorney. A, cause number C-3353-20I SMB Infrastructure versus AGUA Special Utility District in the District Court of Hidalgo County, Texas, 398th Judicial District. B, system capacity, drought conditions, and desalination project. C, NatBank technical assistance agreement, sewer hookups. D, TxDOT easement purchase offer for Veterans Boulevard Road widening project. So I need a motion to go into executive at 7:05.
So move.
Second?
Second.
Second by Ms., okay, motion by Ms. Perez, second by Mr. Perez. All in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries.